Thank you for watching this video on uploading high school GPAs. In this video, we will cover the Uploading GPA framework, calculating GPAs, GPA tools and file layout, how to create and upload the text file, and the manual GPA submission process. Uploading GPAs is mandated in the California Education Code. Assembly Bill 2160 made changes to the Education Code, and this is the bill that mandates all California public and charter high schools electronically upload non-SSN GPAs for all seniors by October 1st of each academic year, except for those students who have opted out. Schools must also create an opt-out option for students and parents. They must provide this option to students no later than January 1st of the student's junior year. Schools can create their own opt-out form or use the one on the CSAC website as a template. Schools also have to verify high school graduation by August 31st of the academic year following graduation. Here is a timeline of the process. In September, the schools will provide a demographic verification form to seniors prior to the GPA upload. This form helps ensure that the information a student is using on their financial aid application will match the information submitted for their GPA. By October 1st, schools should upload GPAs. By January 1st, schools must notify juniors of the GPA opt-out option if they do not want their GPA uploaded for Cal Grant consideration. March 2nd is the last chance to upload final GPAs for transfer students, makeup credits, or any student whose GPA was not already uploaded. Then, weekly through September, schools will edit unmatched GPAs, match edited GPAs to corresponding FAFSAs and DREAM Act applications, and assist seniors with creating WebGrants for Students accounts to check their award status. A quick note is the Edit GPA screen does close on April 30th. There is another webinar for matching GPAs that discusses this screen in more detail. The matching editing process can begin 24 hours after GPAs have been uploaded for students who have submitted their FAFSA or DREAM Act application. The matching process can continue after the March 2nd deadline through the end of September. It is the high school's responsibility to upload, edit, and match GPAs and verify the high school graduation of students who do not self-certify via their WebGrants for Students portal. To view GPA reports, you will need WebGrants access. The forms to request access are on our website. Here is the GPA calendar. The Commission is always working in 2 academic years, and each function associated with GPAs has its own timeline. It can be confusing. At this point, for the 22-23 academic year, which is the year current high school seniors will be entering college, GPAs can be uploaded until March 2nd, 2022. Then, from October 1st to April 30th, GPA demographic information can be edited and matching can continue until September 30th, 2022. For this upcoming academic year, 2021-2022, GPA matching can continue until September 30th, 2021. So the question is, why do we upload GPAs? The Cal Grant application process requires a matched GPA. WebGrants will not even process an application for a Cal Grant A or B consideration without a matched GPA, which means the GPA is linked to the corresponding FAFSA or DREAM Act application. This is because a matched GPA is the trigger that tells WebGrants to process an application. This is why it is essential that GPAs are not only uploaded, but that the district or campus staff are also manually resolving any unmatched GPAs. Please note that Cal Grant C, which is a short-term vocational technical certificate program award, is the only Cal Grant that does not require a GPA, but it does still require a FAFSA or DREAM Act application to be submitted by the March 2nd deadline. While October 1st is the deadline for high school GPAs, the upload functionality typically opens in May or June of every year. Therefore, the Commission urges high schools to upload early. More and more high school students are participating in concurrent enrollment at a community college, so we want to make sure to upload early so that the high school GPA, not the community college GPA, gets matched to your student's application. Be sure to upload GPAs for all prior year grads and seniors, whether they are duly enrolled or not. The main point is that you do not have to wait until October 1st to upload. The Commission opens the upload window in May or June of every year, and we announce this via our listserv. For this year, the GPA electronic submission window opened on June 24th. When uploading GPAs, you will upload two sets of GPAs, your current seniors and last year's graduates. This is because students have these 2 years to qualify for a high school entitlement award. Having 2 years to qualify benefits students who either take a gap year after high school, or it gives students who didn't qualify as a senior a second chance. Keep in mind, since senior grades aren't reported until the year after high school graduation, this potentially helps students who brought their grades up in their senior year to qualify for a Cal Grant the year after graduation. These students are sometimes called the 1-year outs because they are 1 year out of high school. Therefore, all high schools should be uploading GPAs for every student twice, once when students are seniors and again the year following high school graduation. However, when uploading GPAs for a given academic year, you will upload both GPA batches for the same academic year. For example, for 2022-2023 GPAs, you will include current seniors who will be 2022 grads as well as prior year graduates, class of 2021. Most of your past year graduates don't realize that they need a GPA uploaded the year after they graduate from high school if they didn't receive a Cal Grant the year they graduated. Therefore, uploading GPAs for your 1-year out students is important because oftentimes including their senior grades will put a student over the 2.0 or 3.0 GPA minimums for a Cal Grant award. We recommend you upload these GPAs electronically and that you always upload GPAs for your past graduates in a separate upload. Once again, pay close attention to the graduation date, as putting the wrong grad date is a very common error. For students who have graduated high school the year prior, remember to only use completed coursework from the 10th grade, summer after 10th grade, 11th grade, summer after 11th grade, senior year, and the summer after their senior year. All other rules still apply as with the current seniors. Finally, you typically won't need to upload a student's GPA again, that is, a third time, after you have uploaded it their senior year and the year following graduation. Schools may need to upload additional GPAs to capture any students who were missed on the original uploads, like students who take summer coursework or students who transfer to your school after GPAs were already uploaded. Finally, former students may request their GPAs to be sent to the Commission in order to receive a competitive Cal Grant consideration if they have never attended college, have fewer than 16 units. Colleges do not calculate GPAs for students with fewer than 16 units. However, the GPAs older than 5 years, students must submit a test score instead. Now we will talk about some important steps to take before starting the upload process. As we talked about earlier, the GPA Demographic Verification form is an important tool to assist with GPA matching. It provides students the opportunity to submit the most accurate information and what they will enter on their financial aid application. Please stress to students the importance of providing accurate and current information and remind them about the issues associated with using different versions of their names. These types of issues can be resolved if students are aware of them and submit documentation to make corrections, but it will cause delays. Ultimately, the demographic information should match across high school records, the FAFSA or DREAM Act application, as well as college applications for admission. Another important reminder is for students to use a personal email, not an email associated with the school, as the school email accounts tend to be disabled after students graduate. The Commission and colleges communicate with students via email, so students should check for any notifications of missing documentation or pending requirements. We can think about the entire process of applying for financial aid as a series of steps. The one obvious component of each step is the student's name and address, and it is critically important in connecting or matching one part of the process with the other. We recommend providing your seniors with the name and address the school or district will be using to upload their GPA. This will alert the student to what will be on their GPA upload and allow them to either request a name change at the school or to use the exact same name on their application if it is correct. This can be done by providing your students with the GPA Demographic Verification form, which can be accessed via CSAC's website, and it's available in the Resources section of the workbook. We also recommend contacting us early if you anticipate a matching issue because of a name change or any other change that would prevent a student from matching. Also, reminding students that one small error with their name or date of birth on their financial aid application may result in weeks of delays in being processed for award consideration. Finally, reminding students to double-check whatever forms of identification they have before completing a financial aid application. Remember, the college will want their award to be in the same name as their IDs. While any mismatched GPAs can be resolved after GPAs and applications have been submitted, top-loading this information will reduce the number of unmatched GPAs and therefore will also reduce the number of post-upload corrections needed. The race to submit data is calculated from the number of matched GPAs compared to senior enrollment. The dashboard will initially display senior enrollment for the previous year. However, winners of Race to Submit will be based off of current year senior enrollment once the California Department of Education provides CSAC with updated numbers, which is usually around March or April. Next, we will look at how to calculate GPAs for your students. If your student management system does not calculate CalGrant GPAs for you automatically, please use the following guidelines to manually calculate the GPAs. Use unweighted 4.0 scale, including failing grades unless retaken and passed. Exclude grades from PE, ROTC, or remedial courses, and do not submit duplicate or multiple GPAs because it will skew the GPA reports and the Race to Submit results. You can contact us for assistance with deleting individual GPAs or an entire batch. For repeat classes for the current year seniors, to recalculate the GPA with the new grade from the retaken past course, the class must have been repeated in 10th or 11th grade or the summers following. If the class was originally taken in the year prior, but not retaken until senior year, high schools must calculate the failed grade into the GPA. The GPA can be recalculated with the new grade during the student's 1 year out GPA. The table here illustrates the grades included for the student's GPA. Current seniors only use 10th and 11th grade and the summer coursework, while prior year grads use 10th through 12th grade and the summer coursework. If a student is graduating as a junior, then only 10th grade and summer coursework is included in the calculation. As has always been the case, pass-fail grades that cannot be converted into a letter grade cannot be used for the CalGrant GPA calculation submitted by high schools. We realize that schools are using pass-fail grading more often than in the past due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, but the Commission has not made any changes to the parameters for GPA uploads and pass-fail grading in connection with CalGrant calculations. Please contact us if you have any questions about this. If a student does not have a GPA, then the student, not a school, can submit proof of passing a high school equivalency test such as the GED, SAT, ACT, High School Equivalency Test or HiSET, or Test Assessing Secondary Completion instead of a GPA if their school is not accredited, the student was homeschooled, the grades were based on a pass-fail system. The student cannot use test scores in lieu of a GPA. If a student has a GPA, then it must be used. The Commission will convert the test score into a 4.0 GPA scale. One issue that can arise is duplicate GPAs. Please use care when uploading GPAs to prevent errors like this. Submitting duplicate or triplicate GPAs causes GPA report counts and data to be skewed. As you can see on this non-SSN GPA status report, this school submitted 3 GPAs for nearly every student. Since only one GPA can be matched to a financial aid application, this makes reports very messy and difficult to determine which students have been matched or unmatched GPAs. We have added breaks and highlighted matched GPAs to make it easy to see, but your reports will not be this clean. Duplicate GPAs cannot be removed from reports unless the school requests to have duplicate identical batches deleted. A common error we see is schools uploading their GPAs with incorrect graduation dates. Although this may seem like a rather small error, it can negatively impact your students and take weeks to correct. If an error is made, GPAs can be corrected prior to March 2nd by correcting individual GPAs via the Edit Non-SSN GPA screen in WebGrants or you can correct an entire batch by contacting the Commission to delete the upload and then uploading a new batch. Do not upload duplicate GPAs until after the Commission deletes the incorrect batch. To correct after March 2nd, you can contact the Commission regarding late GPA appeal requests. All requests are reviewed and approved by management. Let's review some best practices. If you will be submitting GPAs for last year's grads in addition to your current seniors, make sure you upload those GPAs on completely separate uploads. This makes sense because not only are their GPAs calculated differently because they will include senior year grades, but they will have different graduation dates. Should you discover that the GPAs were submitted with incorrect graduation dates, please don't attempt to fix it by uploading a second time. This will only create a duplicate upload and will distort your WebGrants reports. Instead, contact school support by phone or email and they can assist you. Next, we will look at the GPA tools and file layout. High school staff can find all user guides, GPA Excel templates, GPA calculations, and the demographic verification form at the pathway shown on this slide. Before uploading, you'll want to save both the Non-SSN GPA user guide and the Non-SSN GPA Excel template to your computer. Also, to ensure successful upload, you will want to refer to the Non-SSN GPA Upload user guide for proper formatting of your Excel template. Improper formatting will result in a failed upload attempt. Non-SSN GPAs are uploaded via the Commission's WebGrants system. There are two methods of upload: a batch upload, ideal for a large student population, or individual manual GPA entry when keying just a small number of GPAs. We will walk you through both upload methods, but we'll start with the batch upload process since that is the most common. For batch uploads, GPAs must be saved as a text file before uploading to WebGrants. Some high school student information management systems, such as ARIES, may allow you to automatically save your GPAs as a text file, thus bypassing the need to use the template. This is a clean, fast, and easy way to upload your GPAs. If your system does not allow you to extract your GPA into a text file, it will be necessary to first import the data into the Commission's macro-enabled Excel template. The template then uses built-in macros to convert it to a text file to make it upload ready. If your student information system does not produce a CSAC GPA calculation in a text-ready format, you will need to create the text file first. You can do this by loading student data into our macro-enabled Excel template and then converting it into a text file. We will go over how to format the template so that you avoid common formatting errors that will prevent a successful upload. We strongly encourage you to work with IT to program your system to create GPA text files. This is because many users experience major difficulties in successfully formatting the template, thereby causing errors. Finding and fixing formatting errors is frustrating and time-consuming. Remember, you only need to use the Non-SSN GPA template if your student information system does not produce an upload-ready text file. If you are using the template, it is important to note that the template requires data to be entered in a very specific format. If even one field is formatted incorrectly, your entire upload will fail. Therefore, you will want to reference the Non-SSN GPA Upload user guide for the correct file layout specification. There's a lot of detailed information on this slide, so let's go over the various fields of the file layout. The first thing you'll want to do is to format your cells as text. This is because column B, school code, begins with 0, as in 051234. So you will need to format column B as text for Excel to recognize that leading 0. Otherwise, Excel's default is to drop the leading 0 because it interprets a 0 as a null value. The same goes for column D, GPA. If the GPA starts with a 0, that is 001, the column must be formatted as text in order to preserve that leading 0. We'll show you how to format cells as text in the next few slides. Notice also that your school's 6-digit College Board ID must be formatted with 8 digits, so you will end up adding 2 trailing zeros. Be sure to pay close attention to the acceptable characters column and the maximum field length listed in the length column. For example, the last name field allows a maximum of 19 letters, so you may need to cap the last name if it exceeds 19 characters. This is a common issue with students who use two last names. Yet another formatting requirement that is often overlooked is the graduation date and student date of birth fields both require the date to be entered in a non-traditional format, year, month, day, versus the more common month, day, year format. If dates are entered in any other format, once again your file will be rejected. Please review these common errors so that you avoid these pitfalls. It is extremely frustrating to try to figure out where the formatting errors are after you've attempted and failed to upload, especially when working with very large files. So take the extra time to ensure proper formatting, and this will save you time in the long run. We'll show you the Excel template in the next couple of slides. Now we will review creating the text file. This screenshot is what the blank template looks like. It is a very large file with columns ranging from letter A through the letter X. The template is macro enabled, which means there is a mini program built into the spreadsheet. The macros format the data to help ensure that the text file meets the specifications for upload acceptance. And the macros also convert the Excel file to an upload-ready text file, .txt. If you will be copying and pasting the data directly from your student information system into Excel versus importing it with the template, please be mindful of formatting. Extra characters, including spaces, often cause misalignment of rows and columns and will cause the upload to fail. To use the template, you will need to click Enable Editing. This is what your Excel spreadsheet will look like once it has been populated with data. Let's do a few things before running the macros that will ultimately convert this to a text file. Right-click on column B for school code and D for GPA to format cells. You could also click in the uppermost cell to the left of the A column, the one with the triangle, to select the entire worksheet. Then right-click and click Format Cells, and then select Text and click OK. It is very important to double-check your formatting. Please ensure the following have been completed before converting your file. Ensure that all required fields contain data. Leading zeros are visible on school code column B. The grad date and date of birth are in year, month, day format. The GPA is formatted without decimals and the max is 400. The correct graduation date, for example 2020 versus 2021. Two separate files for current seniors and last year graduates. And if copying and pasting data into Excel instead of importing, please be mindful of the formatting, including any extra characters and spaces that cause misalignment of rows or columns. And remember, if just one record is formatted incorrectly or is invalid, the entire upload will fail. Also, please leave columns E and V blank. Once you have confirmed that your spreadsheet is formatted correctly and your data looks good, you are ready to run the macros. Running macros will tell you whether there are any formatting errors. And if there are no errors, the macros will convert your spreadsheet data to an upload-ready text.txt file. Click the View tab, followed by Macros, then select View Macros to run the macro wizard. Locate Start Data Tools by scrolling down toward the bottom of the list of macro names. Then select Run to run the macros that will convert your Excel template to the text file. Running Start Data Tools brings up this purple macro wizard. The first box will appear for a few seconds, followed by the second blue-purple box. Choose the Save As Text File tab. Use the drop-down to select the default name, blank data entry, for your GPA file. Save the text file to a desired location on your computer. You want your files to be readily accessible in case you need to correct any errors. Once saved to your computer, you may change the name from blank data entry to another name of your choosing. Your text file may look similar to this, although the exact view may differ depending on the type of text file program you use. You want all of your data to line up neatly in left justified fashion at the start of each column. If your data is not left justified or is offset, this is an easy way to actually see the presence of extra spaces or characters which will cause the upload to fail. Please note that while offset or misaligned data is a certain indication of errors, a properly aligned row of data could still have other errors. They just may not stick out noticeably, like errors with extra characters. But know that any formatting error will cause the upload to fail. In the example on this slide, the top text file has a decimal point for 3.25 and the data is not aligned properly. The bottom text file is formatted correctly. If the alignment looks good, you are now ready to upload your non-SSN GPA text file into WebGrants. Now we will walk through testing and uploading the text file. Now that you've converted your data into a text file, let's test it out and upload it. To begin, from the home page, click Non-SSN GPA under the Calgrants section. Then click Upload Non-SSN GPAs. Users must obtain WebGrants access prior to uploading. If you do not already have access, see your campus WebGrants system administrator to request access. From the Upload screen, choose your file from its saved location. Then select the correct academic year and your school's segment, high school, college, or community college, and then click Begin Upload. Selecting Begin Upload does not actually upload the file. It first tests the file for any invalid records as a failsafe. Remember, if even one invalid record is found, WebGrants will not allow the file to be uploaded. Therefore, if you have invalid records, you will need to clean up the file and retest it until all records are resolved. Users may need to do this multiple times before finally getting a clean file. If there are any invalid records in your file, the Non-SSN GPA file upload status will tell you how many and which records are invalid. But remember, the entire batch upload will fail if even one record is invalid. Click View Invalid Records to identify the invalid records. In this example, record number 1, 2, and 9 on the text file, not the Excel file, are invalid. Notice the reject reasons, such as invalid record length, invalid zip code, and invalid GPA. This information will help you identify formatting issues. You will find it much easier to correct invalid records within your Excel file versus the text file. After fixing the invalid fields on your Excel spreadsheet, rerun the macros to save the corrected data as a text file once again. Then go through the same upload process to test your corrected file until 0 invalid records are returned. If your file contains multiple types of errors, you may need to clean up, resave, and retest your text files several times to resolve all invalid records. Let's take a closer look at the invalid records. The record number in the invalid records readout refers to the line number or row on the text file. Again, most people find it easier to correct the invalid data on the Excel template, not the text file. Just remember that when working in Excel, the record number will be off because the Excel template has the headers on row 1. So your first record on Excel is actually record number 2 on the text file. For invalid school code, the school code was entered with 6 digits, but it must be 8 digits with the 2 trailing zeros. GPA incorrect record length could mean there was a decimal point used, which exceeds the maximum number of characters of 3. Incorrect record length for last name means it exceeds the maximum length of 19. Now that you've cleaned up your errors on the Excel template, click Begin Upload to retest the file. We now have 0 invalid records, so you can click Submit Records to complete the upload process. An on-screen pop-up "Congratulations" message will appear, confirming your successful upload. This upload summary can be printed for your records. There are 2 additional ways to confirm your upload as well. One is that you will receive a confirmation via email, or 2, you can retrieve the Non-SSN GPA School Upload Report through WebGrants. Now we'll talk a little bit about the manual GPA submission process. You may want to submit GPAs individually if you have a small senior class, you have students who transfer to your school after the GPAs were already uploaded, you have students who completed makeup credits or summer school. When using the Add Non-SSN GPA screen, be aware of the impact to award cycles. GPAs submitted manually after March 2nd will be late. A late GPA, just like a late FAFSA or DREAM Act application, will prevent WebGrants from processing your student's application. Pay attention to any on-screen messages like this. Only GPAs submitted by March 2nd are applied to the high school and transfer entitlement award cycles. GPAs submitted after March 2nd are applied to the September 2nd award cycle and for community college students only. To manually add a GPA, click on Non-SSN GPA under the Cal Grant section on the home page, and then click Add Non-SSN GPAs/Test Scores. All fields with a red asterisk are required. However, adding additional optional data will increase chances of a match. Now we will talk about the next steps. Now that you've uploaded your GPAs, there are important next steps. If the GPA does not match to the student's financial aid application, it will need to be manually matched. You can use the WebGrants GPA reports found in the Data Transfer menu to identify unmatched GPAs weekly. It is the high school's responsibility to link unmatched GPAs to the correct financial aid application. This video does not go into the GPA matching. However, if you need additional assistance on the GPA matching process, we have a dedicated video on the process as well. In addition, high schools must verify graduation by August 31st of any students who have been awarded a Cal Grant but have not self-certified their high school grad date via their WebGrants for Students account. It is important to match GPAs because students with unmatched GPAs will not be awarded a Cal Grant A or B. A financial aid application without a linked GPA will not be processed and sits in pending status indefinitely. This is because the matched GPA is what triggers WebGrants to process the FAFSA or the CADA. Cal Grant C, for vocational or technical training programs, is the only Cal Grant that does not require a GPA. Also, your school will not receive credit for unmatched GPAs in the Race to Submit campaign. This campaign is intended to increase financial aid application completion and create some friendly competition between schools and districts. Another important step is for students to create their WebGrants for Students account. We will review what this account looks like in the next few slides. Once a student has submitted their financial aid application, the next step they should take is to create a WebGrants for Students account. This can be created 7 to 10 days after their application was submitted and fully processed. This student portal enables students to track the status of their application, confirm that their GPA was received, check for any pending requirements that could hold up application processing, report a school change or leave of absence, or update their contact information. After awarding, they can use this account to complete the high school graduation verification and College of Attendance certifications that will need to be completed before their award is released from hold. Please remember that if your student is awarded a Cal Grant, failing to create a WebGrants for Students account and fulfilling any pending requirements may hold up their Cal Grant payment at their college. The updated student portal uses colored tiles to alert students of pending requirements and to confirm the reported school of attendance or report a school change. It also displays their annual award amount and remaining years of eligibility. It's important to teach students to become their own financial aid advocates. Students should ensure that their GPA was received, fulfill any pending requirements, claim their Cal Grant, self-certify their high school graduation, and they can report a school change or leave of absence. We encourage everyone to engage with us on social media since we have a dedicated team now working on keeping posts updated and relevant to the time of the year. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please contact school support by phone or email.